station. Thereafter, he went to live in New Zealand.
It gives me much pleasure to be here this evening, and I think a number of the speakers before me have said quite a few things that I wanted to say. But essentially, the fact of the matter is that these sorts of developments actually provide a huge level of impetus into any local community. In other words, it gets the community centered around these sorts of shopping centers. It gives opportunity to small businesses. It also is growing different parts of Nadi or outside Nadi. Only a few years ago, we don't even have to go back to 1910. Even if you go back to 2005, 2002, even 2017, nobody imagined that this part of the Nadi back road would develop in such a manner. Nobody imagined that the parts of Nadi that is growing outside the municipal area would actually grow in such a manner. The reality of the matter is that these opportunities have obviously been created because of the growing demand, but more importantly, because of government's focus on envisaging or having a vision as to know where the country is going to and providing the right environment for that. Environments such as, for example, you have Mr. Banfal who left Fiji, I assume probably following the events of 2000, went to New Zealand. He obviously did well there. And the fact that the Fijian government then decided, following the events of 5 December 2006 and the changes in the modernization we want to bring about, of opening up citizenship. We know there are many Fijians. Some estimates are over 200,000 or even more Fijians are living offshore. They've done well. But a lot of them have their roots, their hearts in Fiji. Many people say that, you can take a Fijian out of Fiji, but you can't ever take the Fijian out of the person. And it's a fact. I've met so many people who migrated from Fiji. They'll always say there's no place like Fiji. And by offering multiple citizenship, it's allowed people like Mr. Banfal to come back to Fiji, share, of course, the skill sets that he's brought, share the wealth that he's brought, and to be able to spread that amongst us. So we, of course, are encouraging more and more of this. He talked about the warehouse. Just last year, government announced the fact that any business that builds warehouses will get investment rebates, because we recognize the fact that there are many people who start small businesses, they don't have enough money to build a warehouse. So we can allow other businesses to build it, they can rent it out to them. And we've provided them an investment rebate. These are the sorts of things that we're doing to allow investors to feel a lot more confident. And I urge you, there's of course been some people are spreading a lot of negativity about the economy. Please don't be persuaded by that. This is a sign that business people like him, Mr. Banfal, are actually feeling confident about the Fijian economy. If you go around Fiji, if you go around even just outside Nadi, I was just coming down here, if you see in places like outside Nadi, past Korovuto, you'll see a lot of development taking place near the Momi junction that goes to the Marriott. Next time you drive around, see all the developments that are taking place there, because people actually recognize the opportunities that exist. I'd just like to take this opportunity to also highlight what we are doing overall. When we talked about Nadi, Nadi, of course, has been a very flood-prone town, soon to be a city. Nadi, of course, is the gateway to Fiji. I mean, we've had people saying to me just recently, I had somebody who came to Fiji after 10 years. They actually could not believe that now Nadi has a 4-lane road all the way from Nadi airport all the way up to Matintar. And they said to me, hey, you guys want to make Fiji like overseas? Of course we want to do that. And the reality of the matter is we are providing that investment because Nadi is the gateway to Fiji. It is the fastest growing town in Fiji. And there are numerous opportunities. So as part of the program, we are engaging currently with a number of development partners regarding the Nadi River. You may have heard about it. I know the villages around this area have had public consultations. And we are looking at what we call the rehabilitation of Nadi River. It's a project currently, the estimates are about $400 million will need to be spent to rehabilitate Nadi River, which includes dredging, it includes widening, it includes building of different canals to be able to manage the water that comes down from the hills so Nadi does not get flooded. These are the types of investments that we're doing. it also means that lands around Nadi River will actually go up in value, whether it's Itoke land, whether it's freehold land, whether it's crown land, because those lands will no longer be prone to flooding. And as a result of that, you'll see a surge of further confidence. But government recognizes the fact that we need to provide the right environment, and the business people will do what they do best. In all of this respect, I think, ladies and gentlemen, what we require is that all of us as Fijians to have an open mind, have an open mind to new ideas, have an open mind to adopting new ways of doing things. If you turn around, if you look now in Fiji, only 15, 20 years ago, nobody thought that people would be eating out so much. Nobody thought that Motorex, a company like Motorex, would actually have outsourced work being done for LTA. Because before you have a regulatory agency, the agency would do everything on their own. Now LTA is outsourcing it. In the same way, government, for example, is leasing vehicles. The Commissioner of Police is here. He'll testify. In 1 year, we gave him close to 200 vehicles. The reason why we're able to do that is because we're actually leasing those vehicles. Now, before, the old way of thinking in government was you have to buy the vehicle. If you buy the vehicle, you have to spend a lot of money up front. But when you lease vehicles, you don't have to pay that much money up front. And after 3 years, you return the vehicles, you get a new set of vehicles. But it also means the police force can quickly get a number of vehicles to be able to attend to the calls or the inquiries, the citizens' concerns that they have. They can respond to you very quickly. So these are the ways that we need to be able to think open in an open-minded manner. So we urge the members of the public to do that. Your government is here to provide the right environment for you. Please feel confident enough. If you have any queries, we're here to answer that. We're here to be responsive to you. We want to improve the level of services in this country. And of course, we want to be able to ensure that you feel that level of confidence in your own country itself. I'd like to, once again thank Mr. Banfal for this opportunity, for this opening that we have. These are indeed, as the MC has said, these are momentous occasions because it is a huge victory for the people living in this area. It means those people, for example, who may traditionally have gone into town, they don't actually have to go into town, they can actually come here. These are alternative avenues for them to be able to carry out their business, come and eat, and do other transactions here. So I'd like to thank you for his confidence. Thank you for coming back home. And I'm sure others will, be encouraged by your level of confidence, because these sorts of, initiatives actually can spread like wildfire. And of course, we want you to be the one who spreads that flame. It is very important for you to do that. Of course, we have Mr. Abbas Ali here, who's also one of the developers in areas like Fantasy Island. I'm sure amongst you, there are those of you who are developers yourself or who are budding developers. If you're a small business person, please feel confident. These are the people who can become your role models, and let's learn from all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for coming here this evening, and I wish you a very good evening. Vinaka, thank you.
Thank you very much.